if you don't want to go to Fifth City. If you don't want to go to Fifth City, you better detour around my town.
By 1962, under the watchful eye of Doyle and Teddy Wilburn, Loretta Lynn's career was gaining momentum. Now a member of the prestigious Grand Ole Opry, she was also learning her craft as the girl singer on the Wilburns' popular traveling show. The next step in Loretta's career was to land a record deal with noted producer and label head Owen Bradley at Decca Records. A determined Doyle took Bradley a tape of a new song sung by Loretta.
Doyle and I took that song in, and Doyle said, "Chief," that's Doyle's personality, "I want you to hear this song. This is a hit song."
And they played the tape for him. And Owen liked the song, and he wanted the song, but he didn't want the girl singer.
He said, "I'm not here to push a song. I'm here to push the singer." He said, "Well, we've got a lot of girl singers, Doyle. I don't think we need to take another one."
And Doyle said, "If you don't take the singer on the tape, you don't take the song." It was just that simple.
Finally, Owen said, "Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do." He said, "I'll record Loretta Lynn if you will let me have that song for Brenda Lee." And Doyle said, "All right, it's a deal." So out of that decision, Loretta Lynn got her Decca recording contract, and Brenda Lee got her first #1 pop hit in a song called "Fool Number One."
The biggest fool of all.
The effort that Doyle Wilburn went through to get her on Decca Records was definitely, I think, probably the most important move that was made in her behalf.
Owen Bradley took great care with his new artist. He was determined to capture Loretta's unique, plain-spoken appeal. It was important that she stand apart from his other female acts, particularly Kitty Wells, who had been a hero to Loretta since her early days in Washington.
It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angel.
Bradley and others had noticed the similarity between Loretta and Kitty's vocal style.
Patsy Montana looked at me and said, "You'll never make it." And I said, "Why?" She said, "You sound like other girl singers I know," which was Kitty Wells. And I did. I patterned myself after Kitty Wells.
It's to his credit that he waited and held her until she had the right songs and had developed to the point that there would be no question she was not a Kitty Wells knockoff.
Owen Bradley's extra care paid off. By the end of the year, Loretta's first album had climbed to #1. The following year, 1964, she was named Billboard's top female vocalist. Loretta was also gaining national exposure on the Wilburn Brothers syndicated television show. The Wilburns were riding high with the hottest female property in town.
Whoa, whoa, you've hurt me enough today.
When you can be on the number 2 or 3 syndicated television show across the country for several years in a row, it'll either wipe you out or it'll help you. I think in Loretta's case, I think she's the first to say that it was a great help to her.
Just as her career was taking off, Loretta became pregnant with twins. It was not exactly welcome news. She was already feeling guilty for neglecting her 4 other children, and with her rising popularity, constant touring was an unavoidable reality. 9 days after the birth of the twins, Loretta and Doolittle were in Germany on a 6-week tour. The 2 newborns were in Nashville with Doolittle's parents. Loretta could no longer deny she had made her choice. Career over family.
That was the hardest tour. Knowing my babies was back here, it's rough. There'd be times that I, wished I'd never been on stage or I never knew a song. But you can't, you gotta do one or the other. You can't do both at a time.
How many times did we hear Mom say every year, "Next year I'm gonna quit, I'm not gonna be working near as much, I'm gonna quit"?
Back then, if I'd known what was gonna happen, I wouldn't have started singing. Because my family means more to me than singing, and I love singing.
Although he was still Loretta's most trusted advisor, her husband Doolittle's role in the music business diminished greatly after she signed with the Wilburns. Once he returned from Germany, Doolittle rarely accompanied Loretta on tour. At the age of 37, Doolittle Lynn embraced fatherhood like never before.
When Mom got pregnant with Peggy and I, Dad completely changed. He didn't want to be out on the road. He wanted to stay at home. He wanted to work on the farm. He wanted to raise us.
After just 7 years in Nashville, Loretta's albums were selling at a rate unheard of for women in country music. The shy country girl who once was afraid to make eye contact with her audience was now in total command of the stage.
When a tingle becomes a chill.
She and Doolittle bought the remnants of a little town 60 miles southwest of Nashville called Hurricane Mills and transformed it into their ranch home. In Loretta's words, a hillbilly's dream. Almost overnight, Loretta and Doolittle had more money than they'd ever dreamed of, but there never seemed to be any time to enjoy it.
All of a sudden, she's successful. She has 6 children. She has a husband. She has a beautiful antebellum home on this, 6,500-acre ranch. And she can't enjoy that. So she fantasizes about the life that she would have at home, in her kitchen with her children.
With Doolittle at home on the ranch, the family was more stable than it had been in years. But with Loretta on the road, Doolittle was free to continue his ways with alcohol and women. Loretta channeled her volatile, frustrating home life into some of the most personal and widely acclaimed country songs of all time.
The way that she took care of my dad, being unfaithful to her, his drinking, her loneliness, her being away from her family and things, was through her music.
No, don't come home with drinking, with loving on your mind.
In 1967, Don't Come Home A-Drinkin' was the first album by a female country artist to earn over $1 million in sales. It was also a direct reflection of her relationship with an alcoholic husband. Before long, Loretta's family dramas had found a permanent place in her music.
If you listen to You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man, Your Squaw's on the Warpath, all of those songs were her life. That was a therapeutic thing.
And actually, I think it was a source of pride to Doolittle that she did that.
How could you really, truly get mad about your wife has wrote this song that is about you, but it is selling like it's a #1 record all over the country? I mean, everybody's loving it.
Loretta's uncensored honesty struck a chord with women all over America.
She had the guts to talk about things that were kind of taboo at the time.
It's hard-hitting, it's direct, it's blunt, it's very chin-out and feisty and very pro-woman. And no one else was doing that at the time, no one.
Although Loretta Lynn's music was championing a new, more equal relationship between the sexes, Loretta's own career was dominated by men. She was still under the control and authority of the Wilburn brothers, even though she was now one of the biggest names in country music. Attempting to break free of the girl singer mold, Loretta was about to take control of her own career. But in the process, friendships would be forever broken. Coming up, Hollywood discovers Loretta Lynn, and her fame skyrockets.
It's coal miner's daughter that makes her an American icon.
And later, a tragic accident at Hurricane Mills brings Loretta her most enduring sorrow.
She totally has not accepted my brother's passing.
When CMT Inside Fame continues.